I caught a 12% intraday move on INFQ comments today using this simple SF3 Reversal BigShort setup. And in this video, I want to go over this setup, why it's one of my favorites, and why I use it almost every single week, if not every single day, and why it's a favorite of many of our BigShort members, including one guy who uses this setup, and I think a couple more, to pretty much only trade Tesla every single day. And I'm going to show you how he actually used this setup to get a nice little scalp on Tesla today as well. Before I get into that though, two disclaimers. Number one, and this is important enough that I want to go to Big Cam for this. I know, wow. This is not a setup that works 100% of the time, because no setup works 100% of the time. And if you're an experienced trader, you're like, yeah, no doubt. But we do have new traders who come and join BigShort, and I have some of those traders asking me like, hey, why didn't this setup work? You know, it seemed perfect. And yeah, sometimes the setup will seem perfect, but it still won't work. The goal is to tilt the probabilities in our favor. If I had a setup that worked 100% of the time, every single time, I would be a multi-billionaire, and alas, I am not. So if you understand that, great. And if you are still looking for that, 100% success setup, BigShort ain't for you, and really trading probably also isn't for you. So let's get into the actual setup. Now, when it comes to this setup, I'm going to show you how I trade it. But disclaimer number two, go through this and then check this out for your favorite tickers. Do a quick back test yourself, go through the past week or two and see how it would have worked, because every ticker does trade a little differently. And this is not a, hey, just take what I say and only use it like this. This is how I use it. Maybe you find a way to improve it. Then you can bring it back to the BigShort community and we can all trade better. So I'm going to get into the setup here. But before I get into that, if you don't know what you're looking at, if this is your first time seeing BigShort, basically, this is the regular candlestick chart. This and each pane here shows a different BigShort indicator. For the SF3 Reversal setup, we are looking at this pane here, which is Smart Flow 3. This is an elite indicator that is required for the SF3 Reversal setup. This right here is Momo Flow, which is basically retail buying. This is Fast Flow, which you can mostly think of this as basically high frequency trading firms. And then this right here is net options flow. So blue is calls, purple is puts. And for each of these panes, up means buying and down means selling. So this, for example, is blue up, which means calls were bought. This here is blue down, which means calls were sold. And this here also is blue down, which means calls were sold. And the same thing here. Bars up means buying, bars down means selling for each of these. Now that you have your little BigShort crash course, here's what I'm looking for the SF3 Reversal. Number one, I'm looking for an outsized Smart Flow 3 or SF3 bar in the direction of price action. So here, for example, price is going down, so I'm looking for a big red SF3 bar. And you might be looking at me like, hey, this isn't that big compared to these guys. And yeah, you're right. But if we turn on the percentage bar, you'll see that this actually, compared to historical SF3 bars for this ticker specifically, this is a top 1% bar. It's a pretty big boy. It's just that this is a big boy and this is a really, really big boy. And if we looked at it like this, before those big boys appeared, you will see that this bar is bigger than anything else that we have here. So I found a potential entry. The next step is, should I enter? And for me, the filter is very simple. I'll look for two things. Number one, if fast flow on that big red SF3 bar was also selling, so it could be dark red or pink right here, I'm looking for fast flow to switch to buying. So go from pink to green. Doesn't really matter if it's dark red or dark green. I'm just looking for a switch from selling to buying. And then I'm also looking right here for SF3 to go from selling either to buying or neutral. So for example, if I have this big red bar here, and then I have another big red bar here, and then another big red bar here, I'm not going to enter. But in this case, we had a big red bar, fast flow switched to buying, and SF3 switched to neutral. And let me show you how I actually play this, because this is something that I did. This isn't hypothetical. This is a trade I took today. So let me show you this trade. Here is the bar. So the red SF3 is on this third bar right here. Right here. And then this is the entry bar. And as you can see, I entered right around here at 16.0075. So right around here. And my stop was at low of day. That's a pretty tight stop if you ask me. Now, I didn't expect the risk reward to be up to here, but I'll take it, right? So I had a pretty nice risk reward. I had a pretty tight stop, and SF3 signaled that for me, it was a good time to enter. Now, you might be wondering, well, can I use the reverse, right? If price is going down and we get a red bar, we go up. If price is going up and we get a green bar, do we go down? Well, let's take a look. We're going up, up, up. It is our moment. And then we get a really big SF3 bar. We get a really biggest line bar of the day with really big Momo flow. And we then get price moving down for a little bit, including a lot of calls sold and puts bought and a bronze premium sweep, which is a bearish sweep. So you can see we get this green bar here, it goes down. Get another big line, big Momo, and big SF3 green bar up. We get a quick little scalp here. And then these ones, they didn't quite work out. I mean, I guess you could say if you go here and then it goes down here and then go here, goes down here. Personally, I saw this and then I saw that, the price was going down and it broke the moving average and I just got out. I decided not to hold because I figured if it goes up even more, that's okay. I'm happy here. And obviously I have some partials here as well that I took. I'm not going to lie. Could I have made more money? Yeah. Could I have sides up? Yeah. Am I still happy with this trade? Yeah, very happy. So that is how I use it for INFQ. Now let's take a look at Tesla and see if you can spot a potential entry. Here's the Tesla chart. Once again, this is the SF3 pane. This is where we're looking. And oh, would you look at that? That's a big SF3 bar. Now, this is a big bar, and this is actually called out in our Discord by the guy who trades Tesla. But if you see, fast flow stayed negative here. And smart flow also stayed pretty negative here. It's not as huge as this one, obviously, but it stayed negative and price kept going down. So I didn't enter until here. And then you could have caught a nice little scalp, probably up to here. I actually got wicked out here because I moved my stop up too early. That's on me. That's my trading style. I like to keep my stop very, very tight. But if you didn't do that, you could have caught a nice, by 0.89% move on Tesla, which most people trade options if they're trading Tesla. So that is a bigger move. But this is just a move in comments if you got in right around here and you got out at the bottom of this bar. Now, obviously, that's not perfect, but that is one example. Now let's take a look at Amazon. This is a different one, right? We got the biggest SF3 bar of the day. And then we have fast flow never switches to red, but we still have price starting to go down. And then it just keeps going down, down, and down. And then let's take a look at MBIS. As you can see right here, we have a really big SF3 red bar, another red bar. So I probably wouldn't be entering here. And then we get green fast flow and green SF3. And we get a nice little scalp here. And if you're really a momentum trader, you could have just stayed here and probably gotten this entire move here. That's really just depends on how you trade, if you're scalping or a momentum trader. As you can see, SF3 does work for scalps, but sometimes it does lead to bigger momentum moves as well. And then finally, let's just take a look at Micron, because this is one that I found that SF3 reversals work beautifully on. So we got a red right here and then a green fast flow here. So you could have taken this scalp here if you wanted to. That's a pretty quick scalp. Then we get another red SF3 here with another green fast flow here. So that could have been a very nice move here. And you also see that the most valuable contract line, the purple here, is moving up as well. And you could have either played this entire move potentially or just this scalp right here. Now let's actually go back through Micron and see how many of these we could have caught. So let's go back. This was not planned. I have no idea how well it's going to work. So let's just see. Well, right here, we have an immediate huge red SF3 leading to a really nice rebound right here. Fast flow doesn't quite change to green. So it's possible I wouldn't have played this, but that's an interesting signal. Let's keep going back and see what we have. I think the zoom's going to be a little bit broken. No, zoom's fine. Here we just have continuation. So we got big green and then mostly continuation after that. No strong reversals. We go back. Here we have a big green that leads to a reversal here. We go back even further. You'll see that here we have Micron basically flushing. Then we get a big SF3 bar down here. The first bar I usually almost always ignore. Second bar I usually ignore as well. Honestly, if you played the second bar here, you could have gotten this scalp right here. But personally, I like to wait a little bit longer. The only reason I played INFQ today is because this red bar, if I was wrong, the stop would have been incredibly tight. So the risk reward really made sense. Usually I wait about 30 minutes or so to see that big red SF3 or big green SF3. For this one, it was just a perfect setup with really tight risk reward, so I took it. But if we go back to Micron, you can see right here, really big standout SF3. We switch to buying fast flow right here. SF3 does change to green right here, so you technically could have played it probably about anywhere from here to here. That's a possible play. But realistically, what you want to do is I would have waited for this green here, entered right around here, and try to catch maybe this move right here, maybe even the whole move, but this might have been a little bit scary depending on your risk tolerance. And then I'm also missing out on the kind of less obvious ones because there are some other red SF3s that also lead to potential, one bar moves, but I'm just focusing on the really big ones right now. Let's take a look here. Once again, we got red price action going down, big red SF3s, and then here we're still red here. So I probably wouldn't have entered here. Here SF3 revert flips to green. So this is a potential entry. Fast flow here is still red, so this is kind of your own personal comfort. Potentially, I would have entered here and probably added here on fast flow switching to green, which, also, if you hold for this entire move, that's a pretty nice move. So I think you see the point. I'm not going to go through every single day. You can do that yourself. Here's a good example of where it doesn't lead to a huge move. Once again, we have to look at examples where it doesn't work because it doesn't work 100% of the time. So here we have price moving down. We get a really big red SF3. We do get green fast flow here, so you could have scalped this little move here, but then we do see continuation and price still going down afterwards. So obviously it's not 100%. So obviously it doesn't work 100% of the time every time because that is not possible. So hopefully that makes sense. Once again, just a quick restatement of how I use SF3. What we're looking for is price action going in one direction, an SF3 bar that is aligned with price action, a really big outsized SF3 bar. This percentage bar is really helpful for that, going in that direction. And then a flip from that red SF3 to green SF3, including a flip of fast flow from pink to green or red to green. Those are the main things I look for. Sometimes, usually this is great for a scalp. Sometimes it does lead to those bigger continuation moves, but not every single time. So it really depends on price action and other factors as well. So for example, for INFQ, if you're looking at the actual INFQ chart, you will see that I actually have the pre-market lows marked right here as well. So what really happened here is this price came down, it undercut pre-market low, and then it went up. It reclaimed VWAP, it reclaimed all of the typical indicators most people would use, and then we started going up. We're looking at the flexible grid as well. You will see that it also basically undercut previous day's lows, almost. Not quite. Previous day's lows was a little bit lower here, but it's close enough. So if you're trading off of just price action and regular indicators, maybe you would have gotten into this move, but SF3 gave me a lot more confidence in getting into it right here and having the stop right here because the risk reward, as you can see, was pretty good. In the final note, I personally pretty much always ignore the first bar. Sometimes it's really big, sometimes it's really small. I don't really care. And I usually do wait for, usually after the first 30 minutes, for that big SF3 bar to appear. Here I took it because once again, it was just such tight risk reward that I couldn't resist taking this opportunity. So that is it. If you have BigShort and you have questions about this setup, you can always reach me inside of the Discord, inside of BigShort Tutoring. That is the best place to ask questions. And if you don't have BigShort yet and you see the power of this setup and the power of other BigShort setups and BigShort data, and you want to try it out, it's just 37 bucks for 2 weeks down here in the description. Just click that link, check it out. And if you have any questions, join the Discord and ask in BigShort Tutoring. That's it for today, and happy trading.